In this video, I'm going to give you an overview of the tangent normal brush engine in Krita. I will not teach you how to create 3D models or how normal maps work exactly. The engine was created by Wolfera as part of the Google Summer of Code. Krita has some interesting tools to offer to 3D and technical artists. You certainly know about the wraparound mode, which allows you to paint tiling textures. But did you know that you can work with normal maps from within Krita? Beyond the dedicated normal map blending mode and the ability to preview lighting on a normal map, Krita now possesses a unique type of tool to directly paint normal data using your stylus's tilt sensitivity. Note that this tool is not a normal map generation tool like Undo offers. Here, your strokes mainly define planes, not height information. The brush engine uses your stylus's orientation to project vector data. Thus, you must have a pen tablet with tilt sensitivity in order to use it. The engine also allows you to produce UV offset map, also known as flow maps. These are very useful for the creation of shaders or materials. Here, I'm giving you an overview of the tools. There are 2 companion videos to go along with this one. They'll give you an example of the tangent and UV modes used in combination with Blender. Let's now take a look at the tangent normal drawing mode. In order to find the brush presets, just click on the Edit Brush Settings icon and select the Tangent Normal engine in the left column. The built-in tools are pretty simple. You have a round brush, a hairy brush, a pixel art brush, and another version of the basic round brush with the white channel inverted. These presets draw tangent space normal map data. The 5th brush preset, with different colors, is a UV offset brush. It works differently from the others. It draws 2-dimensional vectors based on the direction of your strokes. All of the unique parameters of this engine can be found in the tangent tilt section. They are pretty simple. First, in the biggest section, you can invert the X and Y axis orientation in the brush parameters, depending on how your game engine or your shaders treat normal map images. The spherical picture in the right will give you a representation of the colors the tool will produce. The 4 options at the bottom change the way the tool behaves. Tilt means that you will draw tangent space normal maps based on the tilt of your stylus. Direction corresponds to the UV offset mode. Rotation is like tilt, but it uses the unique rotation parameter that some styluses offer. And I don't know what the last one is for, it's just a mix of tilt and direction. The bottom slider defines how strong your strokes will be. It changes the elevation of the resulting normal map. Note that your pixel brush parameters are also available here. You can use any brush tip and fine-tune other parameters to your liking. That's the strength of this tool, which combines the flexibility of Krita's pixel brushes with this unique feature. Let's now talk about the setup you need to properly use the tool. First of all, for a normal map, I invite you to fill the canvas with a neutral starting color. It is 128 red, 128 green, and 255 blue. Every pixel with this color will not affect the shading of your mesh in your game engine. At the top of your layer stack, you have to add a normalize filter. This ensures that the pictures you're getting out of Krita have the right color format. As Krita handles HDR painting, you can do this as a kind of sanity check. If you are drawing a tiling texture, you do not need to set it up in a 3D software to see how it will look once it is lit. Krita provides a filter layer that can simulate the interaction of light with your normal maps. It's called the Fong Bump Map, and you can find it in the Map Filter category. To use it with a normal map, you have to click on the Use Normal Map checkbox. Then you have a tab called Light Sources to tweak your light directions and elevation. And you have the ability to change the material properties as well. Be sure to add your own presets, as the default one isn't really neutral right now. Before we move on to the second function of the engine, I'm sure some of you will wonder, what can I use this tangent brush for? You can't use this engine to generate realistic normal maps. You will not get the fine details of a baked 3D skulls or a dedicated normal map generator. On the other hand, this tool gives you the ability to design unique art styles, including pixel art normal maps. It is ideal when you want to create normal maps that are decoupled from the 3D geometry you are building it for. You can also use it to brush in over generated normal maps to give them a unique artsy quality. So, with the Tangent Normal engine, you can paint normal maps. But there is more to it. It also allows you to draw UV offset maps, also called flow maps. This is a great tool that I'm sure the technical artists among you will be quite interested in. While tangent normal maps represent 3D vectors, flow maps contain 2D vector data. I won't dive in the details, but some of you should know that 3D software uses a set of coordinates called UV to map 2D images on 3-dimensional meshes. A UV offset textures warps your UV coordinates. It offsets part of your texture in a given direction using the red and green channels of your flow map. If you have seen a flowing river in a game, it was most likely made using a flow map. They are used in a lot of games as well as in procedural texture generation. They allow you to create all sorts of beautiful warping effects like the heat of a fire, that for a low performance cost. To draw a flow map in Krita, you just have to change your brush's tangent tilt options to direction. The vectors will then be calculated based on the direction of your strokes. If you draw towards the left, you will create vectors pointing left. If you draw towards the right, you will create vectors pointing right. If you're using a mouse, you may suffer from artifacts. Thankfully, you can fix that using the brush's smoothing option. If you use the stabilizer, be sure to uncheck the finish line option or you will have issues. That's it for our overview of the Tangent Normal Brush engine in Krita. If you want to learn more about when this tool can be useful, head on to the 2 companion videos. And if you want to become a better 2D game artist, remember that the GDquest Kickstarter is still running. We are getting real close to the first big stretch goal, so if you haven't already, head on to the Kickstarter page, back it, and spread the word. That said, I want to thank you all for watching. Be creative, have fun, until next time.